before they had mail letters, my parents lived in New York and I was in England, which was as far as they were able to send me, and we always used to write home on Eisen paper because it was cheaper than airmail paper.
We used to use new roll at my boarding school on a Saturday night when everyone came in from a rave. They used to get a loo roll and roll it up the length of the corridor, and then if they thought you were pissed, they'd make you walk along it to see if you could walk in a straight line, and if you couldn't, you'd get in serious trouble.
Where did you get the drink from? I was really happy I got an Ovaltine. That's astonishing. Drugs, drink, guns.
Why did they do this to us as children? Because this scarred me.
Yeah.
Everything next to the toilet was painful and horrific. Why did they do that to us?
Was it to deter us from doing number 2s at school? Because almost everyone I know was like, well, I'm doing that at school. Then you wait till you get home.
Yeah, but if you didn't get home for 3 months, it was a bit tricky. This is nothing really to do with the show, except I thought it was entertaining. Susan, what is one of the tricks that you can do because of your height?
I can stand up in the street in the back of a black cab.
Yes. So, if you can fit in a pillar box. Just want to see if you can stand up inside a pillar. I'm way too tall. Can you fit in there?
I'm standing up completely straight.
Oh, that's right, carrying on.
You've got to get in one of those and just do it. That would be very, very funny candid camera, wouldn't it?
So here's my question. What would happen if you posted yourself to number 10 Downing Street? I know you're out there. You're right.
Well done, Susan.
Would you get delivered to number 11 and a card put through the door saying there's a parcel?
Left in the port.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody's ever tried post yourself to number 10?
People must have done.
Gordon Brown used to in the old days.
1909, 2 suffragettes posted themselves to number 10 Downing Street because they could not get an appointment to see the Prime Minister, Mr. Asquith. They posted themselves from the East Strand Post Office. They were escorted by a messenger boy. You can see him on the left there, A.S. Palmer. But the gentleman who's come out from number 10 has refused to sign for the human letters. And so the 2 women, Miss McClelland and Miss Solomon, were returned to their office at the Women's Social and Political Union. But obviously they got the photographs. The post office actually played a huge part in the suffrage movement. So members of the Women's Social and Political Union, including pankhursts, they would smash windows in post offices, they poured acid into pillar boxes, they set fire to post boxes, they put pepper into letters, sent them to anti-suffrage MPs.
And in tribute to them, you locked a woman in a letter box.
I did.
Really pour acid upon it.
No acid at all. Now then, give me your best impression of a 19th century poster girl. Well, Susan's is rather good.
Is it
Is it this?
So they were called banner ladies. They were late 19th century human billboards.
She's covered in food.
Yes, well, so she's obviously from a bakery. She's even got bread on her head. Everything she's doing is advertising the bakery that she's involved with. The one on the left there is all household goods. I love her hat.
Are you sure she's not advertising magnets?
That hat, it's a loaf as a hat.
I know.
That is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
There were the people who had light bulbs hanging off them, dolls, bed springs. They could be covered in pretzels. Like
What
that
about pet shops? Did they advertise with all sorts of
hanging off.
Yeah.
And sometimes advertising can be just wearing. Now for one in the posterior. Who gave Hitler a kick in the backside?
Have you ever actually kick someone up the arse?
I can't reach. No, have you?
I once kicked my brother up the arse, and it was so so pleasing.
Do you know what? You look so nice, and there's a streak of violence a mile wide.
A kick up the arse is a very pure thing when it goes right.
Goebbels?
Was it
an
Hitler, Himmler, Himmler, Hivler, Hitler?
No, so his personal physician was called Dr. Theodore Morell, and he gave him daily injections in his body throughout the course of his career. So it started with just your basic vitamin supplements, but over the years, a cocktail of drugs. In fact, he became unbelievably reliant on a very complex and potent cocktail. One of the substances he was given, it came in little gold-foiled packets, and it was called Vitamultin. And Hitler gave a packet to Himmler, and he secretly ordered one of the SS physicians, Ernst Gunther Schenk, to have it tested in the lab, and it contained methamphetamine, crystal meth. Dr. Morell kept a record of the drugs that he gave to Hitler. He included belladonna, caffeine, cocaine, adrenaline, morphine, testosterone, and E. coli bacteria extracted from human feces.
They all have to have their hair just cut up a little bit higher than him, so they look a little bit more stupid.
Yeah, a little bit.
Your hair is a little bit too long.
Without even having-
Yes, feel up.
I don't have a medical degree, but I have watched a lot of Casualty.
Yeah.
I'm not qualified. But even I know that injecting bacteria from human feces into someone is not a positive thing.
Well, apparently it kept Hitler fresh, alert, active, and immediately ready for the day, cheerful, talkative, physically active, and tending to stay awake long hours into the
You know,
night.
you could do that with a simple Mars bar.
Then the Allied forces bombed the factories that produced Morell's drugs. So not only was Hitler losing the war, he was coming off drugs at the same time.
That was a Mosquito. It's a twin-engine fighter bomber made entirely of wood.
Is that right? So confident there.
I think it had a wooden frame or something. There's something unusual about it. I remember because we had an Airfix one in our house.
Well, maybe just the Airfix one was made.
The Titanic was completely made of tin.
Weirdly, him taking these drugs inspired by the 1936 Olympic Games. So you would think that's a lovely thing about unbelievable fitness, but the successful use of the American amphetamine Benzedrine at the 1936 Olympics encouraged Germany to develop its own methamphetamine.
Pervitin.
Pervitin, yeah, it's called Pervitin. It was a sensation.
It's a tin of perp.
35 million tablets were ordered and given to the German troops before the advance on France in the spring of 1940. It even made its way into confectionery. There was a brand of chocolate called Hildebrand chocolates, and women were recommended to eat 2 or 3 a day. You would be able to get through your housework in no time at all, with the added effect that you'd lose weight.
The thing is, they're not wrong. If you do housework on speed, you will do it quicker.
Very well.
I mean, not well.
It'd be done by 9:30, but the house would be right.
My favourite Daily Mail headline from 2017 was "Doing less housework is making women fat." Everything going for it. The source of Hitler's power was frankly a pain in the ass. Now it's time to queue at the last window to pick up the oddly shaped package that is general ignorance. Fingers on buzzers, please. Which country invented the queue? I'm going to say Belgium. Because why?
I went to Belgium.
Yeah.
They all seemed very polite.
No, the very first written example that we have of queuing comes from the bread lines in the French Revolution. So the French.
Oh, I was going to say French.
Yeah.
Q sounds French,
Really?
right?
It is indeed.
It goes with Belgium, though.
It's wrong.
Yeah. Close but wrong. That's what we're going to say about
in
it.
China.
Susan Gelman, close but wrong.
Yeah. Was an Irish revolutionary known as Wolfe Tone, and in his 1796 diaries, he's basically the father of Irish republicanism, and he talked about the petty princes of Italy are, as the French say, un cul pour faire le pain. It is an excellent metaphor taken from a crowd who stand one behind another in order to be served in their turn, as the poor of Paris, for example, are at the baker's. My favourite story about a queue, 2018, Amazon opened its first queue-free shop. So the idea, you scan your phone as you walk in, there are video cameras and sensors which watch as you take items off the shelves. They charge you automatically, you don't have to wait in line to check out. On the very first day that people went to visit, they queued for 2 blocks to get into the shop. Okay, what's the most unrealistic thing about this picture? Yes,
That bra. Pointless bra.
yeah, I don't know what that's doing for her, really.
She's
Nothing.
done a pump out of her front bottom.
A man with children would call it a pump.
In the front bottom.
Yes. What is the most unrealistic thing about this picture?
She's got her eyes open.
Okay,
Now, people are allowed to have their eyes open underwater. That's
So
it.
no, but if she's in the sea, you wouldn't have your eyes open.
Yeah, but she's a merlady.
she's a mer person.
Well, she's not a mere person. I mean, it's a woman dressed up as a mere
Okay,
person.
I need you to imagine it's a mer person.
Well, you didn't say that.
Okay,
Right.
so the most unrealistic thing for you is that it doesn't seem like a real mer person. We don't have a picture of a real mer person. So, if you think about the classic depictions of mermaids, try and think about how fish swim. So when fish swim,
they swim.
they have their tail in the same plane as their body. They move their tails from left to right to propel themselves. Most depictions of merfolk show them just like that, with a tail fin perpendicular to the plane of the
A
body.
lot of whales have that, don't they?
Well, this is the thing. So if mermaids swam like fish, then they would have to swim on their side.
They'd swim like a mammal, mermaid.
Right, so if they're going to swim like a whale or a dolphin, they're mammals, not fish. However, most mer people are depicted with scaly and shimmery lower halves, which is a fish characteristic,
Yes.
and not the smooth skin of a cetacean, so a whale or a dolphin. And so either, this is what really irritates me, the tail orientation is wrong, and a mer person is half fish, or the scales are wrong, and the mer person is half cetacean. You can't have it both ways.
I am not going to invite you to my dinner party.
Your point is, just to be clear,
Yeah.
that they shouldn't have scales if their tail's like that.
You can't have both
You
ways.
can't
Can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways.
Well,
That's not what we're talking about.
And this has really upset you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
it's my show. I thought we'd talk about it.
They've got to be mammals for the singing and the luring onto the rocks, right?
That's not true. I've been seduced by a couple of fish in my time.
No, as I understand it,
Yes.
Uh-oh.
in order for
Well, your understanding of things has been lacking tonight.
they were sirens, the mermaids,
Sirens, weren't they?
right? The more attractive part of
Nino, Nino, Nino.
the most attractive part of a person is this bit.
Yeah.
So the key is that I've always been looking at the top bit.
Yeah, and nobody's paying attention to how wrong the bottom half is. Okay. Mermaids are completely unrealistic unless they're half whale or they're bottom feeders. Right. Which brings us to the scores. Wow. First past the post with 10 points. It's Matt. An excellent 8-point score in second place. It's Alan. The post-mortem with -5. It's Holly. Sounding the last post. -5.5. So close. So close. Susan. Thanks to Holly, Matt, Susan and Alan, and it's time to leave you with a final postscript. These comforting words from Gracie Allen. The president of today is just the postage stamp of tomorrow. Good night. has arrived in my Spike Away non-social transient behaviour vest.
Transient behaviour.
So, non-social transient behaviour is the way people...
Oh, it's something you wear to make people not stand next to you.
Yes!
A spiky thing.
It is a spiky thing.
My personality does the trick. But it's a clothing version.
So, it is the way in which people on public transport try and keep the seat next to them free. So there was a designer named Kathleen McDermott. She created a dress and it senses when people are standing too close and it inflates. Yeah, I love this.
Like a pufferfish.
Yes. So the other thing to have is a Singaporean design student called Xu Ming Cheng made the Spike Away vest. So what it is, it's flexible spikes that you put in the garden room to keep animals away from plants. We have a couple. So what I'd like is Phil and Bridget, if you would put on a Spike Away, and then I've got one room for you, Alan.
I think they're supposed to be on the outside.
Okay, so if you stand here, Alan,
Yeah.
and you two, so imagine you're minding your own business
In
on
the
the
lift.
tube, and you two wish that he wasn't there, so just see if you could use your Spike Away vests to... Wow, it's... They're not.
Welcome to Nice Pond.
He's asking for it. Which former Top Gear presenter failed a drugs test last year? And how on earth did they get away with it?
Oh, is it the white guy? Yeah.
The white guy.
So we're just going to guess those guys' names. It's up to you.
It's not going to be any of those names, and they're all a trap.
Is it all a trap?
Yes.
Trap.
Watch this. Jeremy Clarkson. Carry on.
He just bodyguarded us. He just took us in front and took the bullets.
I'll take the bullet. Lots of birds can see ultraviolet, and they can see animals' urine on the ground. And that's how they know there's a burrow.
That's
So
very
when
good.
they're swooping around looking for prey, they think, oh, look, they're over there, because there are lots of those small rodents incontinent. This is all God's will, right? I'm going to set this up. That one can see weed, that one keeps pissing it. Oh, I can't stop pissing. Look at all the weed, look at all the weed. Get in the hole, get in the hole. See what they think? They can't get in the hole.
You're a little vole and you're running with your mummy like that and you look up and you see one, you're, I'm terrified, I'm going to wet myself.
What's the most unrealistic thing about this picture? Yes,
That graph.
not fish. However, we're going to place a tray of finds. There they are, you've got them. And I would like you to identify the fossil. So now you can use any part of your body except your hands. Thank you. So, how might you identify any of them?
They told me I wouldn't need my glasses.
Okay, do you want to borrow mine? Here.
Yes.
There you go, Sue.
These are all pebbles from a standard British B-row. I got
So Phil is heading in the right direction.
Can I put it in my mouth? You got it now.
answer.
Good,
So
good for
they've got various ways of distinguishing fossils from plain old rocks, but one of the ways you do it is to lick them.
Oh, Jesus.
Just pay attention, I'm gonna lick this long one.
That's actually a British sweet. That's yeah, you do. Okay. That's
I really want to touch it.
That's the ringtone I want.
experiment with the disc and see whether your fingers or your tongue are better at working out the size of the holes in the disc.
It's the tongue.
Sorry?
It's the tongue. For me, it's the fingers.
It's the tongue.
Tongue.
No, it's the
I can
fingers.
feel different edges. I can get it much further in than it's impossible to.
I see you in a new and more positive light. The tongue is much more pliable. It's called the oral size illusion. And because your tongue is much more pliable, it'll bend around different surfaces more easily. And it should give you a more accurate picture of what you're looking at.
So when I'm measuring up to put some shelves up, I should
Measure with your tongue.
I should go into B&Q and go, not a lot of them. I need some screws and all that.
Do you not?
I did 2.5 mil. I don't know.
But what's interesting to me, Tony, is that there's three shapes on
Yeah.
here. I did not successfully identify what they are with either my fingers or my tongue.
I knew two of them with my tongue. You were right, the tongue was better.
Yeah, well, it's that thing, you know when you've got a little thing in your mouth and it feels so much bigger to you?
I do know about that
I
sound.
thought they were all...
Right, what my...
B, try B.
Try B.
Yeah, just have a lick of it. No, don't put it all in your mouth. Just lick it.
Just lick it.
It's...
Has anyone ever told you that?
It's dinosaur poo.
Is it?
What's the correct word for dinosaur poo or any poo?
Delicious.
What's the last? I also read you write a poem, so I've got one. Here we are. What would we be without Alan? Totally unbalanced. That's where. It's a haiku. You like it?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, it's written by my agent. I haven't got time.
I've written a haiku as well.
Oh, go for it, then.
First time on QI. Must not swear and let mum down. Piece of fucking piss.
She'll be so proud.
Thank you, Sandy.
Joe.
Can I have absolute silence in the room? I really like to go on QI. It is better than if I die. Sandy Toksvig is so nice, but Alan Davies has got lice. I have actually been treated for that.
Oh, I've written a poem on the theme of pastime, which is the theme of the episode. And it's called One Tea or Two. Does pastime have one tea or two? I haven't the foggiest. Do you? I suppose it doesn't matter. We're only here for the patter. Does anyone else need a poo? I sort of panicked at the end, I think.
Where would we find beer in the sky?
Oh, in space.
It's about 10,000 light years from Earth.
Did someone lob a can up? It's just landed.
It's an incredible thing. There's a giant cloud of alcohol with enough ethyl alcohol for 400 trillion pints of beer. That is enough for every person on Earth to drink 300,000 pints every day for 1 billion years. Because it's spiked with hydrogen cyanide.
Classic.
I know.
And those Russians.
The intriguing thing is that the cloud contains ethyl formate, so that is it's the chemical compound that helps give raspberries their taste, and it reportedly smells like rum. It seems that the centre of our galaxy may taste and smell like raspberry-flavoured rum.
Oh my god. Oh, when you say it reportedly smells like rum,
Yeah.
who reported it?
Well, we know what the chemical is and we know what the chemical smells like, but nobody's been there.
Right.
You could
I'm here
volunteer.
now.
What's it smell like? What's it smell like?
I mean, it could be blackberries. I think it's raspberries. Doris disagrees.
Have you had raspberries for breakfast?
Yes, I did. Now I think of it.
People do those wine things, isn't it? Oh, it's like, I'm getting blackcurrant, I'm getting running naked through heather.
Skirting boards. I'm getting skirting boards and linoleum. You've fallen over.
Now, you mentioned astrology. That's another way in which human beings try and sort of divide themselves up. So you say, well, I'm just like this, so I'm a Taurian. So let's have a look. Sarah, what...
I'm a Gemini, just after you. Yeah. Okay, did you mean like my risings?
No. Johnny, what star sign are you?
Oh, at Virgo.
What are you in?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces? Oh, okay. And what are you?
Well, now I think I know what's going on here.
Oh.
Thank God somebody does.
Yeah, because all the stars and the alignment of where the planet is and were set by astrologists a long time ago.
Yes.
But actually everything's moved a little bit.
Moved.
So you think if you're born at that time of year that you're born under those stars, but you're not.
No, so the modern star signs are all based on those of ancient Babylon, and the night sky has completely moved. You're actually a Leo, in case you wanted to know.
I'm really not.
Yeah, see, nothing sign at all. Right. So you, Sarah, are actually a Taurus, and Alan, you are actually born under Aquarius.
Oh, cool.
And what am I?
I think we got the date of your birth entirely wrong, so...
I did a tandem skydive. That's the
Why?
most frightening
Why did
thing.
you
Do you know why? Because I had a girlfriend who was always on about how brave her ex-boyfriend was. And to be fair to him, he was a battlefield medic in the army. So, I mean, he was terrifically brave, highly trained,
I do comedy.
and all that. And then she really hurt my feelings when she said he was also the funniest person she ever met. I was in Cairns in Queensland. I was nowhere near home. So I thought, I'm going to do a tandem parachute jump. I'll show her. And I absolutely shat myself. It's so frightening.
Because also you were being like babied by another man
You've
behind
been
you.
strapped into a total stranger.
Oh, it wasn't him, was it? Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Alan. The bravest man in the world. Let me tell you a joke as we're going down, because I'm really funny.
Whether this is true.